This is video 3 of the Armattan CF258 build series. In video 2, we installed the power distribution board. In this video, we're going to be installing the KK2 flight controller and setting basic settings needed for your maiden flight. The first step in installing your flight controller is installing these nylon standoffs to the same screws that hold the power distribution board. These are nylon standoffs, so we want to be sure that we don't over tighten these. Next, we will install the KK2 board. We're going to be using the shorter of the two nylon standoffs. Now what I have done is filed the edge of the standoff on the very edge, because if I didn't, it was bumping into my buttons as I tried to tighten it down. So the two filed standoffs I'm using by my buttons. These just need to be finger tight. We can connect our power for our KK2 board. Positive goes to the outside. Next, we can install our motor signal wires. Now the KK2 motor layout, this is motor 1, this is motor 2, this is motor 3, and this is motor 4. So we're going to connect our motor signal wires accordingly. Motor 1, 2, 3, and 4. The negative will be on the outside. The signal will be on the inside. Now that we have our flight control all buttoned down, we have our motor signal wires connected. I have connected my FreeSky receiver. The channel order for your receiver connections is aileron on top, elevator, throttle is position number 3, and rudder is the last position. We're ready to apply power to the board and go over our basic settings. We're just going to go over the basic settings that you will need to get your CF258 in the air. You may find that you need to tweak these settings to fit your flying style. First, we're going to press the menu button. Scroll down to PI Editor. The settings that I have installed in the board right now, for roll P gain, I have 40, P limit is 100, I gain is 28, I limit is 20. If we go next, the elevator is the same, 40, 100, 28, and 20. The yaw is 60 for P gain, 20 for P limit, 45 for I gain, 10 for I limit. Next, we're going to scroll down to stick scaling. I have this set at 30 for roll, 30 for pitch, 55 for yaw, and 90 for throttle. Under miscellaneous 1, this is probably already set from Chris at Armattan, but you're just going to want to change your battery alarm voltage. Make sure this is set to 105. That's 10.5 volts. Next, we're going to go to self-level settings. I have my self-level for P gain set at 60. The P limit set at 20. Again, that's for a kind of a snappy response to self-level. You may find that a setting of 40 and 20 fits your flying style better. You're going to want to go to MPU settings. You're going to want to change the gyro to 2000, the accelerometer to 16. After we change the gyro to 2000, make sure the accelerometer is 16 and your filter is 98. You'll be prompted to do an accelerometer calibration. You want to set it on a flat surface. Do your accelerometer calibration, and you should see, after it cycles through the calibration, you have the OK on all axes. Now that we have our basic settings set, we're ready to verify that our motors are spinning in the correct direction. The easiest way to do that is to go ahead and arm the board, apply a little bit of throttle, and just barely touch the cans of the motors to just see if they are turning in the correct directions. Motor 1 will turn clockwise, motor 2 will turn counterclockwise, motor 3 will turn clockwise, and motor 4 will turn counterclockwise. I have gone ahead and installed the prop adapters. You're going to want to put a little bit of Loctite on each of these 3 screws. Install your battery strap on the lower plate. Install the landing legs on the screws that are protruding from the bottom from when we installed our arms. You can see that I have cheated and installed navigation lights. I didn't show you folks that. I have red on the back and green on the front. Installing the buzzer that Chris has provided is fairly straightforward. We're just going to pass it between the 2 center plates, route it over to the buzzer connector. Positive is on the right, negative is on the left. And then if you have extra slack that you need to take up, you can either zip tie the wires or do as Chris does and wrap them around the posts. We are now ready to install our top plate, mount our receiver, install our props, and our maiden flight. I have chosen to install the buzzer on the left-hand side just because it allowed my wiring to be a little bit neater, and also with the KK2 board having rather large standoffs, I was able to put the receiver underneath of the top plate so I don't have any exposed wires. Makes for a pretty clean build. Being it's the KK2 board and it does have a rather tall standoffs, there's a greater risk of that getting damaged in a crash. We are ready to install our propellers and go on a maiden flight. This is our newly built CF258. We are ready for our maiden flight. First, we want to power on our transmitter.
Welcome to Toronto.
Make sure the throttle is all the way down.
Angle mode, throttle release.
Power on our CF258. Got to keep it close to home. It's a little windy today. So I have my self-level. It's a little bit spongy.